Hello and welcome to Colin's Yarn Magic. This week's project is this lovely little Bumble Bee Happy flower. It is an intermediate pattern because it uses some different techniques such as Tunisian stitches, surface crochet, all the way around. Okay, so yeah, you're going to need a couple of different hooks, a 3.5mm and a 3mm, some eyes, a stitch marker, an optional keychain, and yellow, black, and whatever colour you want your petals to be. Okay, I'm using some 5-ply acrylic yarn because it makes it easier to do these thin little markings. But if you don't have that type of yarn, any yarn will work. And if it's double knit, you can just stretch it out a little bit to thin it before working these stitches. Okay, so you're going to begin with a magic ring of 6 single crochet. Okay, so like I say, this is an intermediate pattern, so you will need to know a few different techniques before starting this pattern. Okay, so you're going to do a magic ring of 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so close the ring, and then we will begin our pattern. Okay, so close the ring over, don't pull it really tight. 2, 4, 6. We're going to begin in the first stitch here, working an increase in each stitch around, so you will have 12 stitches at the end of this. So go into the stitch and work an increase, and you're going to do that in each stitch around, work an increase, pop your stitch marker into the first stitch and continue to work an increase all the way around. Okay, now you've done your increase, you can close your ring off. Don't pull it really tight until the end. But now we're going to begin round 3, which is an increase in the first stitch and then 1 single crochet. So into the first stitch here, you're going to work 1 increase. So 1, 2, and then pop your marker into the first stitch. So increase, and in the next stitch, 1 single crochet. Repeat, increase, 1. Continue to work that all the way around. 1 increase, 1 single crochet. Okay, so at the end of this round, you'll have 18 stitches. And for round 4, we're going to start with 2 single crochets, 1 in each stitch. So 1 single crochet, pop your marker back in. So 1, into the next, 2, and then into the third stitch, work an increase. 1, 2 single crochet. So that's the repeat single crochet, increase. 1, 2, and into the third stitch, an increase. 1 and 2. Continue your repeat of 2 single crochets and an increase all the way around. However, the end of this round ends differently. We're going to begin joined rounds. So when you get to your stitch marker, stop and we'll work the end part together. Okay, keep going. Okay, so at the end of this round, just double check that you've got 24 stitches. Pop your stitch marker out. Into the next stitch, you're going to join the round with a slip stitch and chain 1. The chain 1 doesn't count, so pop your marker into the chain 1, keeping in mind that this does not count. Okay, so we are going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, so the same stitch here, because the chain 1 doesn't count, work a single crochet. 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Stop at when you get to your marker, because again this round ends slightly different. Okay, so work 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and then do a double count. Make sure you have 24 stitches plus a chain 1, so 25 in total, but the chain 1 doesn't count. Okay, keep going. 1 single crochet around. Okay, so if you're using the pattern, there is a picture guide. What we're going to do at the end of this at the end of this round is an invisible fasten off. So we're going to skip the chain 1, and this is the stitch that we're going to be going into. However, turn your work first. Okay, so turn your work, pop your hook through the first stitch. So not the chain 1. Then you're going to fasten on the working loop, like so, and then pull that yarn through, and then you're going to chain 1 again. This chain 1 doesn't count. Turn your work back, and this gives you a nice complete circle. So what we're going to do now is a back loop only single crochet in each stitch around. So into that first stitch here, you can see you have your front loop and your back loop. Go into the back loop only and single crochet. Put your stitch marker into the chain 1, keeping in mind that the chain 1 doesn't count. Okay, so in each stitch around through the back loop only, you're going to work 1 single crochet. one single crochet in each stitch around, and when you get to your stitch marker, stop and we'll finish the round together, because we're going to start working the back of your little bumblebee. Okay, so keep going, one single crochet in the back loop only, all the way around. Okay, so we're at the end of round 6, and there is an image on the pattern that shows this exact point. We're going to pop our stitch marker out, skip over the chain 1 and into your next stitch. We're going to restart continuous rounds, so into the back loop only of the next stitch. So skip the chain 1, and into that stitch you're going to work a back loop only, single crochet 1, and then pop your stitch marker in. Work one more single crochet through the back loop only, so 1, 2 in the back loop, and into the next stitch we're going to work a back loop only, invisible decrease. So don't yarn over or anything, pick up the first loop, then into the next back loop as well, pick up that loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 1 and 2, and then when you have 2 stitches left, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so it's 1, 2, decrease. So into the back loop only, single crochet 1, back loop only, single crochet 2, and then I'll show you the decrease again. Okay, so into the back loop, insert your hook, swing over to the next stitch, picking up the back loop. This can be a little bit tight because it's back loop stitches. So you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. It does help to go through 1 and then through the second, especially if you're using this acrylic yarn. Okay, and then when you have 2 stitches, pull through 2. Repeat. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then that back loop invisible decrease, and I'm going to show you it again. Okay, so you can see here's our next 2 stitches. Go into the first back loop, into the second back loop, yarn over, pull through 1, and then continue to pull through the next stitch, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So continue to do that all the way around, and we'll pick up together. So it's 1, 2, and then the decrease, the invisible decrease in the back loop only. Continue to do that all the way around, and then we'll pick up together. Like I say, it's easier to go through 1, 2, then pull through 2. Okay, keep going and we'll pick up together. Okay, so round 8, we're going to single crochet in each stitch around, just in the normal way. So you can see here, just single crochet in each stitch around, and then we'll take a break and add the eyes. It just makes it a little bit easier when it comes to the end of this pattern. Okay, so work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, so now we're going to place the eyes. If you think there is an image on the pattern, and if you think of a clock, this is 3 o'clock. So this is where we're going to orientate our work from now on. So that this is where we begin. So to do the eyes, you're going to find your center line, which is from the middle all the way up. Okay, so this is your center line, and then the same across to 3 o'clock. Place your eyes into the front, okay, making sure they're equally spaced. So you can either work from the middle out or from the side in. So we'll do both just to show you, okay? So from your middle point, 1, 2, and 3, pop an eye in. So you can see I'm just here. Oh. And we need to make sure that this eye is equally spaced. So you can see that we have 1 stitch from the side, okay? So, and then we've got 1 visible and the middle. So 1 visible and 1 stitch from the side. Okay, so they're equally spaced. We have 1 visible stitch here, then the middle point, 1 visible stitch, then the 1 visible stitch in the middle point. Okay, so pop your eyes, the backs of your eyes on, and you can keep them as it is or melt them and flatten them off. Okay, so pop the eye backs on. Okay, so just for quickness, I'm not going to melt them, but if you've seen any of my tutorials before, I like to melt these and flatten them down. Okay, so we're now going to begin round 9 once the eyes are in place. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to continue on round 9, which is an invisible decrease and 7 single crochets. So now that we're not working into the back loop, your invisible decrease is worked in the front loop. So you go into the front loop there, into the next front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so this becomes your first stitch, so pop your stitch marker in, and then work 7 single crochets. Just through both loops, okay? So 7 single crochets. And then into the side, so you can see that the decreases are worked beside the eyes. You're going to work 1 more invisible decrease under the front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then through 2. And then finish by working 7 more single crochet. Keep doing the single crochet 7 stitches and we'll pick up on round 10 together. Okay, so for round 10 we're going to work 4 single crochets. So 1, pop your stitch marker back in, and 3 more single crochet. 1, 2 and 3 makes 4. Okay, now we're going to work an invisible decrease over the next 2 stitches through the front loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and then through 2. Okay, now work 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Work another invisible decrease over the next 2 stitches. And then finish with 2 more single crochet. 1 and 2. Okay, so now after we've finished this round, we're going to add our stuffing. So take a little break, stuff, not completely, but stuff until it's quite full, and then we'll begin our next round. Okay, so stuff your little bumblebee. Okay, so after you've added some stuffing, we're going to work an invisible decrease in each all the way around. So we're going to do decrease over the next 2 stitches all the way around. So pull through 2, then 2. Stitch marker back in. Over 2, work your decrease all the way around, and then add the last little bit of stuffing, and then we'll invisible close the little bumblebee together. Okay, so work your decreases all the way around, and then I'm going to show you a little technique to fasten it off so that it's hidden. Oh, that one was very good. Okay, so continue your decreases around. Okay, so when you're happy with all your stuffing, what you're going to do is fasten this loop off with your yarn. The stitch marker's at 3 o'clock, so pop it out just now and pop it right beside the eye, and that way you'll know where 3 o'clock is. Now, we're going to continue working the same way as before. Work under the front loop with your sewing needle, under the next loop with your sewing needle, and push through. Pull that loop all the way through. Continue over the next 2 stitches. Pull through 2. Okay. Little Molly's joining me. I don't know if you can hear her purring. Okay, so continue to fasten this off, and then we're going to begin the flower part, well, the petals. Okay, so that's it fastened off with your yarn. Just pop it through to a different point, and then back to the middle point, and just do a little knot to fasten this off. Okay, through the middle point, just a little knot. Okay, so then you will find your middle point. If you're using the pattern, find your centre line and we'll begin the petals. Okay, so the petals are made using some Tunisian stitches. So let's find out where we're going to begin by finding your centre line, which is right up to here, and then count back to 1, 2. So under this stitch here, so it's under this little bar, you're going to join in your petal flower colour. Okay, so join that and then chain 4. Okay, so the petal is made over 4 stitches. Pop your tail over. So into the first stitch, you're going to chain 4. The reason that we do this is that we want this middle line here to match up all the way down the centre. So we have to start just off centre to get that effect. Okay, so once you've chained 4, we're going to begin working down these stitches by picking up a loop. So insert your hook, yarn over, pick up a loop. Keep it on your hook. Into the next one. Repeat. Keep it on your hook. Into the next stitch. Again, keep it on your hook, and then work under the same stitch. Pick up a loop. Now, we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. And yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we begin with a slip stitch, chain 4, work down in the first stitch. So now this is the stitch that lines up in the centre. So we pick up these little bars this time. So go under the bar and pick up a loop. Go under the next bar and pull up a loop. Into the next, pull up a loop, and then into your next stitch along. Pull up your loop, and then yarn over 4 times. So yarn over, pull through 2, 4 times. 1 more stitch to go. So pick up your bar. 1, 2, 3, and then into your next stitch along. So pop your stitch through the bar like so, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now to end the petal, we're going to be working complete slip stitches under this bar. So pull through and pull through. So you're completing these stitches this time. So you're going to do that for the 3 bars, 1, 2, and 3. And then finish the petal by working a slip stitch into your next stitch along. Okay, so into the next stitch, work a slip stitch. Okay, and as you can see, that makes this middle line match right up with the center. So we're going to repeat that 5 more times, 4 stitches, over 4 stitches, 6 petals. Okay, so we're going to repeat that again by starting with a slip stitch into your next stitch, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pick up your loops. 1, 2, and 3, and then into the same stitch. So the first one is into the same stitch, and then as you're doing it, you work into the next stitch along. Okay, so pick up your bars. 1, 2, and 3, into the next stitch along. Pull through 2 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One more, pick up the bar, pick up the bar. One more, into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, through 2, and through 2. Then work your complete slip stitches down the side. So pick up the bar and work a complete slip stitch. 1, 2, and 3, and then end in the next stitch along with a slip stitch. So that's your repeat for the petals. Begin in the next stitch along, chain 4, slip stitch, chain 4, and repeat your petal. Keep doing that all the way around. Stop here and I'll just show you how we end. And as you can see, this makes it nice and even down the centre. Okay, keep going with your petals. Okay, so at the end of the flower, when you've done your last slip stitch, you can just pull this yarn straight through, pop your sewing needle on, so you can see here, and then what you're going to do is reach over to the first stitch where you can see your tail there and pop your yarn right through to the back. And then these 2 tails, we're going to do a box knot. So go right over left and work a knot, pull that down, and then go left over and under and pull tight. That means you can cut these off right down at the knot and it won't come off. Okay, so now you're going to do your face markings. So if you have the pattern in front of you, you can see that we need to change to our 3mm hook and some black. So like I say, if you read the pattern, you cut a small piece off for the smile and then a longer piece off for the markings, because we're going to be using the same piece for the whole thing. So you're going to join at the same point with the tails here at this, you're going to join at the 3 o'clock position. Under the first bar here, pop your hook through and pull a loop. Pop the tail to the back of your work like you did before. And now under the bars in front of the flower here, you're going to work surface slip stitches. So pull through and pull through. Here, pull through and pull through. There, pull through and pull through. All the way around, work a surface slip stitch. Okay, continue to do that. Don't fasten your work off. Don't cut this away or anything. Just keep working your slip stitches all the way around and we'll meet back at the 3 o'clock position. Okay, so when you're back at the 3 o'clock position, fasten on your sewing needle, and now we're going to do the facial markings, just using the sewing needle to show you where we're going to begin. Okay, so you want to make it even. So if you begin here, you want to finish here. So if it's 1 step above the eye, that's where you're going to do your little markings. So bring your yarn through to that point. Now, a surface slip stitch is just the same as a sewn chain stitch. So just in case you can't surface slip stitch, I'm going to show you the chain stitch way. Okay, so with a sewing needle, if we're starting 1 step above, you're going to yarn over like so and pull your stitch through. So if this is where we're starting, we're going to finish at the same point. Okay, so go through the middle of the stitch with your sewing needle, pick up 2 little bars. You're going to be doing 2 all the way across. Wrap your yarn over and pull through. So like I say, this is just the same as a surface slip stitch. It does take a lot longer, but if you can't do that. Okay, so chain over. Like I say, this does take a lot longer. So once you've done the 2 facial markings like the picture on the pattern, or you've got the big round, then skip 1 yellow row and do another. So this one is 1 stitch shorter at each side, as you can see, so 1 stitch shorter. Then add your smile and some rosy cheeks, and then we'll begin the back. So I'll jump from here and I'll show you how the smile is done. So again, it's planned out where you're going before you do the stitch. So we're starting with the needle being able to sit straight against the eye, which means we're going to finish here making it nice and even. So pop your yarn through and then come through down to the middle point where your magic ring started, and pull that yarn straight across like so. Okay, make sure when you bring this up that the middle point is matching, if you can see what I mean. So it's making like a little T with this magic ring being right in the middle. So go under this little black bar like so. So go under both loops, pull it right up, and then pull it down. So pull that down to the same point that you joined and pop your needle back up to where I'm going to finish my markings, and pull that tight, and that gives you your little smile. Okay, so finish your facial markings and then we'll do the back of the bumblebee. Okay, so to do that, you're going to pull this working yarn right through to the back. So do that. So once you've made all your facial markings, you're going to take the yarn that you've just used right to the back of your work. So pop that right through and come under the petals. So, sorry, you're coming right through just under, can you see this little yellow loop all the way around? So pop your needle through. And now we're going to work on the back of your little bumblebee. So grab your hook. And again, we're going to work a full round of slip stitches round the back. Okay. So work your slip stitches under the surface, right behind those petals. Have the pattern, you can see that half of the top of the band is black and the bottom is white. You don't have to change colour if you don't want, but I just thought it looked okay. Okay, so you're going to continue to work your surface slip stitches all the way around, and I'll get you when you've got a full loop done. Okay, so keep going all the way around. Okay, so once you've worked a full round of the black at the top, making sure you're still at 3 o'clock at this side, insert your hook 1 round down and pull through. So skip this whole round here and come through, pull your black yarn from 3 o'clock position all the way through and pull through. So insert your hook, pull a loop up, and then you're going to work from this side to that side. So you're working the top half of this round in black. So go under the stitch, surface slip stitch, and you're going to do that for the top half, and then you'll change to white. But don't fasten off the black either, because that we're going to use this same piece of yarn for your stinger. That's why you need to cut a really long piece at the beginning of this one. Okay, so we're just about at 3 o'clock position, 9 o'clock position. So pop your hook through, fasten on some white, and pull through it. Oh, sorry. Fasten on white and pull through it. Put the tail over and work the bottom half of the same round that you were doing with black, but use white this time. 1, all the way round, and then we'll finish with the little stinger, just to give it some more detail. Okay, so once you've reached the 3 o'clock point, you're going to go under the first stitch and just pull it down. Try and make sure that when you do this, that you pull your yarn towards the bottom of your work, so that when you slip stitch, it goes under that black bar rather than over it. So now you've got all these loose ends, you need to sew these in. But to finish, with this long piece of black, you're going to pop your hook through the middle point, grab that black yarn, and pull it all the way through that middle point. Okay, so when you've pulled this piece of black yarn to the middle point, make a little loop under the stitch, and then chain 4, and then you'll skip the first stitch, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, go back into the middle point, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then pull your yarn all the way out. And then you're going to fasten it on to a sewing needle just to secure it. Okay, so you're just going to go under the top loop like so and just secure your little stinger in place. Okay, so then once you're finished all these, tie them in nice and neat and add your little keyring. So when you're adding your keyring, you want to do it right in that middle point here, like so, and that keeps it, that stops it stretching all the way out. Okay, so now we're going to join the wings. We're going to begin doing the wings now. Okay, so we're starting at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Okay, so at the 3 o'clock position, pop your hook in like so and fasten on some white. Okay, make sure your tail's at the back and you're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now into the same bar that you slip stitched, you're going to work 2 half double crochets. So go under the bar, pull through all 3. One more, yarn over, go under the bar, pull through all 3. Now you're going to work into the side of this stitch, yarn over, and you're going to go not under the bar, but into the side of the wing like so here, making sure you have a little V, and then work 2 more half double crochets into that point. Okay, and then into the same stitch that you began, work a slip stitch to finish off. Okay, so you're going to then do that at the opposite side. So pull your yarn all the way through. Okay, and then insert at 9 o'clock. And you want to be grabbing the same yarn. So you're putting your hook all the way through to this side, grab that same yarn and pull it all the way out. Okay. And then you're going to begin. So make sure that you're working in the same orientation. So we were working this way, so make sure you don't twist your work or anything. Okay, so start at the 9 o'clock position and chain 2. Then repeat, you're going to yarn over, go under the same bar and work 2 half double crochets. 1, 2, and then into the side of the stitch here, you make sure you have your little V, yarn over, into the side of the stitch, work 2 more half double crochets. And then slip stitch back into the same point where you joined the wing, slip stitch, and pull your yarn all the way through. Okay, so this one you have to fasten on to your sewing needle just to keep the shape the same. Once you've done your slip stitch, you want to just, right at the base, insert your hook. Put it through to where there's another little bit of white, and then do a box knot just to secure it and fasten off. And like I say, you add the keychain to the middle point of the middle flower, of the middle petal, and that's your little Be Happy flower all finished. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and check the description box for all the information of the group that I'm part of, that where you get the free copy of this written pattern. It's in the description box below. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.